waiting all year to be here, to ride the wave of the water frontier. The ocean's warm and the tunes are chill. We'll stand here till we get our fill. We're working hard and we're playing hard too. We're gonna do what we gotta do. Time to go big or go home. And I ain't going home, cause summer's on. And I'll be living on the beach. Left my shoes and all my troubles far away. Cause summer's on. The ocean's underneath my feet. And if the sun is out, I'll ride the waves all day. Everything we've ever wanted's right here. Don't wanna blink just to fight the fear that our time will pass way too fast. And I'll be dreaming of the beach another year. We're gonna have the time of our lives. Days and nights with the sun in our eyes. And a wild tide under bluest skies, tearing up the shoreline. Cause summer's on. And I'll be living on the beach. Left my shoes and all my troubles far away. Cause summer's on. The ocean's underneath my feet. And if the sun is out, I'll ride the waves all day. We're gonna ride The summer's on, and I'll be living on the beach. The summer's on, and I'll be living on the beach. Left my shoes and all my troubles far away. The summer's on, the ocean's underneath my feet. And if the sun is out, I'll ride the waves all day.
Yeah, I still remember how to do this.
Right.
Listen, every week I have to question myself. Do I still remember how to do this? And the answer's usually yes. Whippy.
Oh, we're live.
We
Hello,
are.
hello.
Yeah, that's sort of how it works. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just make myself a little bit bigger here, so that way I'm at least taller than the screen. There we are. So
I was too busy doing chess puzzles to notice.
you okay?
Nerd.
Do you want to lay down? All right. Well, everybody, thank you for joining us once again for episode 43 of Sand and Shadow, our homebrew D&D campaign set in the Desert Kingdom of Abu Kanas. That my mic is blocking my camera, and that's why I'm tweaking.
Ah,
That
I was gonna say you might want to fix that.
That is such a weird problem that I didn't realize I was having till later on, and now that's it. This is my whole scuffed streaming as a VTuber. Perish the thought. But my name is Akan. I'm the Turtle VTuber and also the Dungeon Master for this campaign. With me today are, of course, my three wonderful players. We have Not Mafia.
hello, I'm not Mafia with underscores if you're typing it. I'll let you guess where. This time. And if you get it wrong, you die.
Oh, so cool. So we're playing games with names.
That's a
now?
saber suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll the saber
So-
suck.
Yeah. The hint is that there's two of them.
Intelligence
and I'm
check.
playing Violet, the roguelock, who has not taken a level in Rogue in quite a while. who is also having a time, honestly.
Dang.
Just ain't that a statement?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit going uh what's the word?
Uh, I couldn't tell you. I'm currently resizing my desk.
Me neither. Okay, I'm done.
The water, the water bottle stays the same, but nope, still looks a little off. I'm gonna shift that over here. Put that water bottle just a little bit closer to my body. Listen, I'm particular about where my water is placed. All right, that looks
Hey,
good.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Uh-oh. Wait. Okay, good.
Hold. Okay.
Alright, we're solid. We're
Holding.
solid. Everything's good. Everything's fine. I love that I'm using a tablet as my DM screen. But like, this is the most accurate I'm gonna get.
Fair enough.
So next, of course, is the wonderful wailing frog.
Hello, I am the frog that is wailing. I play Serena, who is now back. She is now a holy barbarian.
I really thought
She...
about it. I thought about making you a zealot barbarian, but I'm like, is that how far you want to go? No.
You could make an argument.
We could make an argument.
I think
discuss it.
ancestral still fits better.
Yeah, it
than
does.
Zealot.
It fits
Zealot
your
is very
As like
fun, though.
even when you're going, if you were going like full barbarian.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nah, ancestral's fine.
Yeah. It fits your character story.
She's also going through it. Not
Yeah?
sure how far because Ekion forgot to send me the list of bad things, but we'll get that taken care of later.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, a lot of them.
I-
There's a lot of things.
Totally have that list ready for you. Totally not typing it up right now as we're talking. Anyways, hey, Rune Phantom, how don't you introduce yourself?
What up? My name is Rune Phantom, and I play Squarb, who is also going through it right now.
Hey, can you tell what I like to do to my players? If you don't, I have 3 very
Well,
big
Squarb
hints.
just had an awesome win, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course.
No, Squarb just had an awesome win. Yeah. That's why he and Serena were getting absolutely plastered when last we
Well,
left off.
Squarb was. Serena was getting frustrated as to not being able to because she's undead currently.
I know Violet can, but that's something I've established about Violet. But you are much more whole than Violet is. In your current undead state, so maybe.
Right then. But hey, you know what? Guess what? You're all going through it. So guess who gets to do trauma bonding? That's probably not the happiest thing you should be saying out loud, but hey. Anyways, where we last left off.
Anyways,
You guys had successfully retrieved the core of one Serina Silt from the clutches of the cult of Goleon. It took you guys about 3 weeks worth of travel to get back from the Northwest Trade Tunnel that had collapsed behind you, and before you made your way back to Blasvatan. Upon your return to Blasvatan, you all went your separate ways, and it sort of took this opportunity to wind down from the journey that you had just you had just gone through, with the loss of one millennia Amaranth along the way. In that time, uh, Violet had learned more information regarding her necromancer lord, Manas Alfarad of the Necromantic Circle of Blasvatan, about his goings on through the journals that he had left behind in his room, and speaking with Fama. I think I named him. Yes, Famas? Was that what I named him? What did I name that guy?
No way, his name was also that.
I'll look up my NPC names in a
Fareem,
minute.
Necromancer Fareem. We have
Like-
it. We have it pinned in the Discord.
I'm like, I remember naming him Fa something, so I'm like, I'll check. I was gonna check my notes. Yeah, Fareem, that's his name, Fareem.
All of the necromancers are required to have a name that is 2 syllables, starts with Fa. So
Don't mind me. I was just writing something down.
this is why Violet has been hesitating on joining.
you meet the 2-syllable
She
requirement.
has to legally change her name.
Fallet.
But yeah, you learned more about what it means to be a member of the Necromantic Circle in lieu of your master gone missing during your travels. As for Squorb, you returned to the Skada Aldine HQ where you went to your office to pick up the letters and presents that were left behind by your wingmates, Manaj and Persephone, and you came to the conclusion after reading everything that they had said that, hey, things are not as they appear, and it might be a good idea for you to seek aid in another city, specifically Killerin.
Yep.
But after reading,
But
all
also,
these
please
things-
don't blame Captain Lee.
but also please do not blame Captain Lee. He's just been put in this position, and he has no control over what's going on. After getting this revelation, you decide the next immediate situation that you had to absolve is getting Serina Silt's core back to her body. With the aid of the priestesses of Anwa Belora and the magic core of the Skada Aldine and the medical core at the HQ, you were able to set it up for a ritual where Serena's core was placed into her body, and then they were casting a resurrection spell on her, while at the same time casting a dispel curse or a remove curse spell from her body to make sure that there was no lingering malignant effects due to the curse that the Sword of Golion had her in thrall. As we went into the spiritual world effectively, Serena, you came face to face with the god whom you served, Selene, the one who guides the dead, and they offered you a choice of 3 potential futures that you would lead coming upon your resurrection. You chose the one where your tribe stood behind you, and through this chain of events and this sort of spiritual journey that happened in the span of seconds in the material plane, or even so much more an hour, because that's how long the ritual takes, you've gained the collective knowledge and experience necessary to call upon your ancestors in your time of need, thus becoming a barbarian path of the ancestral guardian upon your resurrection. We are going to start now, still in...
Another important thing is Soleil named Serena his champion.
Yes, you are Selene's chosen, correct.
Chosen, yes.
To which you do not fully comprehend what that means, but know that that is of some importance later down the line. But we will continue from that point where you and Squorb are sitting in the medical ward after you have been resurrected. Once again, just for context, you have a level of exhaustion that will last 1 week.
Yep.
After resurrection, and then you are technically considered undead as well as your normal species characteristics for that week. Should any spell effect require that, I understand what that is.
Okay.
Okay, but
So don't use turn undead.
correct is a pretty good indicator.
Oh, that's weird. What would that do?
It depending on the level of. Wait, are you at the level where your turn undead becomes destroy undead for cleric?
Yes. Yes, it is.
That.
Well, my
It's
CR
only like
is
CR one
not.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, if it's of CR1 or lower.
Oh yeah. Well then, in that case, I
Oh
would
wait,
just.
no, CR1 half. It is CR1 half.
Yeah, in that
At
case, I would
8th
just
level,
make
it
you
goes to
roll.
CR1.
I would just make you roll a set number of dice equal to your spellcasting level. So, in damage,
Mm.
because you are channeling divine energy through your undead body to purge undead entities in and around yourself.
That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, we will start there in the medical ward with you and Scorb in the room. The mage corps and the priestesses and the medical team after seeing to your physical needs, i.e., making sure that there are no like malignant effects upon you, and double checking to make sure this strange metamorphosis that happened as part of your resurrection, where your scars are now replaced with amber crystals that kind of line your body, and your chest that had a gaping hole in it where your core was is now a case of amber with a new gemstone locked in place, and it seems to radiate faintly, but not enough to break through any fabric that you're wearing.
It's an opal, right?
It is an opal, yes.
Sick.
Yeah. So we will start right there.
Okay. Ah. Let's go get that drink, Scorb.
Yeah.
Are you holding up okay?
Mm, probably about as well as I could be.
Mm.
I just. Frankly, I just feel terrible.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much you're aware of as far as like what happened, but you know.
I'm aware of what happened to me and what I did and what involved me. I'm not aware of all the stuff you went. You're gonna have to fill me in on like the adventures you guys went on while I was out of commission.
Ah, oh yeah, we oh boy, we went through a lot. We visited the Feywilds with Visper.
Huh.
We hired, or not hired. We killed a Jabberwock while we were there. It was actually a very excellent fight, if I'm honest.
I need to
Um,
hold on. Oh, okay.
Oh.
No, Serena is aware that Visper was a princess. Okay.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't go back in my notes.
I was just having a hard time trying to remember what things that Serena wasn't present for.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that's what I did too. But I have a specific note that says Princess Visper with 5 question marks.
Yeah. We met with her family and managed to establish diplomatic relationships with the Court of Spring and Blasvatan.
You guys met with the Merchant Prince then?
Yeah, we're sort of like agents for the Merchant Prince now.
Oh.
It's complicated.
I'm probably gonna have to meet him. Great.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to continue working with us, it's very likely that you'll need to meet with the prince.
All right,
But
add that to the list.
it's We found some children that had been abducted by the cult and rescued them. I almost screwed up one of Violet's plans in order to save those kids.
Mm.
It's
Serena kind of gets this 1,000-yard stare as she mentions that.
that's totally fair. It's just been, frankly, it's been a fucking mess.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
I have to say, you're not coming back at a good time.
I'm honestly glad I'm coming back at all.
As am I. I don't want to minimize that even a little bit. I'm incredibly glad that you're back.
Yeah, it's better than the alternative.
Yeah. I don't think I could live with myself if the alternative had come to pass.
Um. Oh, point of order. Ekion. Does Serena have any gold on her?
No,
No. Okay.
no. All of
Oh,
it was
no.
left. All of it was left either in your coffers or whatever you had on you is missing or had been used for nefarious plots.
That's 218 gold gone.
I'm sure your kids have.
Oh yeah,
some
no,
money
they've been
in
keeping the
the
business
bank.
alive.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have money waiting for me. It's just right now I'm nothing. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think we were just walking as we were talking.
Yeah, and then Squarb was going to expense drinks to the Skara outing
Yes.
because
black card.
we had joked that while he doesn't necessarily love being with them anymore, he's definitely going to take advantage of the perks given to him for the time being.
Hey man,
Yes.
every captain gets the company black card. Use it or lose it, man. Is all I'm saying. It's
But yeah.
technically a business expense.
But no, I honestly am not sure I could live with myself had we not been able to recover you.
Yeah.
I'm still sorry for getting you involved in this in the first place.
Honestly, you don't have much to apologize for. I feel that one way or another, fate was gonna guide me to in this way. That makes sense.
Frankly, I don't understand. Fate
Okay.
and things like that are beyond my understanding. All I know is that I had a hand in this. That's really all I could tell you.
Well, I mean, hey, it led to me being by God's chosen, whatever the hell that means.
Yeah, what is that about?
I don't know. I'm going to have to find a Temple of Selene. My memory's a little bit foggy, so I don't even remember if there's one in Blazvitan. Probably there is. I mean, makes sense if there was, but
If you would like,
Quarb would know, I just don't personally.
yeah. If you both would like, you guys can roll either religion or I would say a history check with advantage because you both have lived here long enough to know multiple landmarks or districts of Blazvitan to recall if there was a temple to Selene.
I will take the +5 history instead of the +1 religion.
I forgot you were not a religious
I
character.
mean, I'll take the +1 religion.
I love being a cleric that does no shit all about religion.
You chose the most.
24 for
You
me.
chose the most neutral god. I don't blame you.
Oh, right. I forgot that I do not do this on my desktop because I forgot to turn off hardware acceleration.
Mm-hmm. If you want, you remember, I trust you. You can roll physical dice if you need.
That's fine, but I already rolled nat 20. So 21 total.
Fuck me for asking. So, Selene is a very interesting god in Abucanasta. He is recognized for what he does, not like in the same way. So, I guess a good way of saying it is that, a good way of pointing it is that as a god of death, he is not recognized in the same reverence as like, as like the other gods, for example.
Okay.
So, like, a good example is Volcanus, the jackal god of war and protection. He is not under the same auspice as Volcanus, for example. Instead, he is just revered and well known as a force that exists and is recognized by the people of Abucanasta. Um, so there isn't technically like a temple dedicated to him in any of the Scarab cities. There are like little shrines dedicated to him, as or things of that nature, or there are certain sites of religious importance where his effigy is there as reverence. You would know one such area would be the floating temple near the floating temple close to the Dragon Spine Mountains to the up closer north of Abucanasta. That would be like where a major temple would have some sort of effigy of some sort to speak on behalf of Selene.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, you chose the most neutral of gods, and so it's kind of a weird position.
I chose an immutable fact as a god.
Correct. You chose a force of nature.
Cool. All right. So, interesting. So he just contemplates that for a minute and just like, I don't really have anyone to talk to about what being Selene's chosen means.
Hmm.
As far as I know, there's not really like, I mean, there's small places of worship, or there's the floating temple, but that's a bit out of the way. Other than that, there's not like dedicated priesthood aside from what clerics there are like me.
How far out of the way is the floating temple?
It is near the Dragonspine Mountains, kind of north of Alicasta.
I imagine we can find time to make a pilgrimage there. It's important to find out what this actually means.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Especially given that we are coming up against a god as far as our enemy here. I mean,
That's
really,
true.
the more understanding we have of the divinity surrounding us, the better chance I think we have of facing off against Golion. And, well,
I mean, yeah, no, you're right. We can also try communing with
Mm.
Selene, but either way, that's for another time.
yes. Ignore this die roll I'm about to make. I just want to make sure it works right.
You're fine.
Okay, fine.
Hey, it did!
Good to roll.
Nail, is Nook still around?
Oh, yeah, it's all right. No, we've done some work with Kassar that was very helpful in getting a lot of our well, everything sorted out, frankly. Etna has been an incredible help as well.
Let us see here that they're doing good too.
Oh, we took over ownership of a bar in a small thieves town and then immediately gave it to somebody else.
Okay. Where the bar?
Oh, right. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I it's
Good.
difficult for me to comprehend.
No, yep. It's the best way I can put it is, when you wouldn't know. Sorry, it's like, how do I describe this?
It's like you were watching yourself do things you would never do.
Yeah, like watching it through a looking glass.
Oh. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, like you're so detached from whatever's happening, but you can still tell that it is happening.
Right.
And no matter what you say or do, you can't stop it.
I understand. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys sound like you have actually gone through
Yeah.
it.
It is very easy for me to channel characters.
I'm going to say that a few hours pass, multiple libations have been consumed during
Yeah.
during this time of revelation and just catching up. I guess the first question I would ask is for Serena, learning of all of their past adventures, knowing what they've gone through, what is going through her head.
Um, Mostly she's glad that they're okay. Uh, that was kind of a worry that she had, was that, like, while she was out of commission and doing things, and when she attacked, that they would end up hurt or worse. Because she kind of felt that's why, in the first place, she grabbed the sword, was to mostly protect everyone. Because she knew that if anyone else touched the sword, that they would be fucked. She had the best chance. So, yeah, mostly it was just, she's just relieved that they're okay, even though they went through a lot.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone is blowing up. I'm trying to stop it right now.
Oh no.
It's just
Put it in the microwave. That'll work.
no, just the vibrations go
Yeah.
through my desk into my mic, so I'm trying to put it on vibrate or silence so that way it doesn't do that.
I see.
There it goes.
I have to step away for a second.
Okay. I think this is a good time to swap gears and then move on to Violet and see what she's been up to in these few hours where you guys were indulging in libations. Violet, after reading this journal and having some time to process everything about your master, what's going through her head? How is she feeling about taking on his position, even if it is a temporary basis?
Um, I can't remember if I said this last time, but Violet's keeping that journal.
Oh yeah, no, that was obvious.
Yeah. Yes. And she will sign the letter, putting her in the necromantic circle.
Ah, okay. So you are agreeing to be his new chair in his place.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. As soon as your signature has finished, the scroll in which it was written on, uh, begins to burn with a eldritch green flame, before turning into cinders and then just scattering to the winds. You then hear a knock at the door to the of the shop.
They're fast. Okay. Yeah, I'll head up front.
Okay. As you open the door, you see you see that unassuming necromancer gnome from way back in episode 3. Uh,
Yo.
he stands a little bit taller. He's still like 3 feet, but he stands like a little bit taller. He's a little bit more confident in himself. He doesn't have his hood up anymore. He realized that was kind of a cliche of necromancers. And he has this like shock of green hair that's like put up in a faux hawk. And he's got like these tiny little pointed ears that have little skull earrings on them, like little studs that are in the shape of skulls. And he goes, "Hey, Violet,
Yes, that's me.
cool. So, check this out. And he starts rummaging through this rucksack. So this is your license to perform necromancy safely within the city of Blasvatan. This is your badge of office, and it's literally just the symbol of the city of Blasvatan, but it just says the necromantic circle of Blasvatan around it. And so there's your badge of office. Here is and he pulls out like a small, like it's like an encyclopedia, and he goes, "Here are the effectively the do's and don'ts of what you are allowed to do as a member of the circle." I've already done the liberty of bookmarking all the highlights that are important to today's, you know, era of necromancy. So I did that for you. And you see that he has like these little
Thank
like
you.
he has these little like color coded tabs just like sticking out of the book. And then yeah, and then first meeting is in a week from now, so that would be next Tuesday.
Got it.
Okay. We don't have a set time. It's sort of just like when everybody shows up, but we generally tend to meet up at night because that's when everybody's asleep. And I guess the guys still like keeping the old theming of like, oh, we're dark and mysterious and spooky and
Yeah, it fits with the whole aesthetic.
yeah. So yeah. That's all I have right here. Did you have any questions, concerns? Did you have any projects that you are currently working on or that you've taken over from your master that you want to bring up to attention?
Not immediately. I'm still sorting through his stuff.
All right, wonderful. Okay, cool. And will you still be using dead end labor as your main source of income in the terms of necromantic commodities?
I guess it's mine. Yeah.
All right, cool. And he pulls out like he pulls out an inkwell and or like an inked quill, and he begins to like scribble something down in a book. All right, perfect. Oh, by the way, my name's Redding.
Awesome.
Yeah, so pleasure to meet you. And then yeah, you wouldn't also happen to know of any illegal necromantic activity that has occurred here in the city or outside the city, would you? Like, I know our business is mostly in the city, but we're trying to expand our operations, and so
I mean, Cult of Golion, that
okay,
whole everything.
okay, yeah, okay. You write that down. Cult of Oleon. All right, cool. Um, and that actually should just about do it. All right, well, Violet, we appreciate you taking over for Manas Al Farad, and we hope to see you on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, also, and he hands you a slip of paper. If you need me, you can just use this. And it's a magic circle. You can do an Arcana check if you would like to decipher what kind of magic circle it is.
Sure. I assume either sending or summoning. 23.
Yeah, it's a conjuration circle. It's meant to specifically
Okay.
summon him. Right then. So,
That seems like a little bit inconvenient for you.
oh no, it's totally fine.
Whatever.
It's totally fine. It only activates when I'm awake.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll never catch me like with my pants down or anything like that. Wait a minute. Does it work with my pants are down?
I'm
Anyways, I'm gonna
yeah,
go.
you worry about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. But yeah. If you have any questions or concerns, you can call me, and then I will come reporting. Anyways, I got some more deliveries to make, and I've got more reports to file. So, all right, good luck out there. And then you just see him like walk away, and then he just like turns a corner into an alley, and then you just hear like this loud bang, and then like a small puff of smoke goes over the city or like the buildings nearby.
Oh, he was shot.
So yeah, you have all this stuff now.
Awesome. Um I'm going to start reading through some of this stuff, I guess.
Okay. Um. The To break it down simply, it's mostly what I said when you spoke with
Mhm.
Fareem. It's just like, oh, you know, your primary uh, concerns are just related to anything necromantic and in sort of like magical essence about the goings on in the city, and how you're basically like a regulatory force, though not everybody uh has to go to like a site to handle to handle said problem. Usually, just whoever is closest has to take that call, sort of deal. Otherwise, you are free to perform whatever necromantic experiments you want, so long as they either a benefit the city of Blasvatan, or b just in general do not bring harm to the citizens of the city of Blasvatan. You are required to report all illegal necromantic activities in and outside of Blasvatan, although given the lifestyle that most necromancers live, they tend to stay in the city. And then the businesses that you work with closely, or in relation to your own business, that being dead end labor, um, they are legally authorized necromantic activities, so you can turn a profit using them. Is mostly what it breaks down. It's a lot of legalese to basically
Mhm.
say you are henceforth allowed to perform necromancy so long as it benefits the people.
Got it.
Yeah, and then you have a badge of office, which is just basically the badge that he gave you, that says this is the I say and do whatever I want badge, so long as it's within necromancy, while you are within city
Hmm.
limits. And then the document that he gave you is basically just a certificate stating that uh, any businesses that are under your ownership are also legally. It's like a liquor license, but for necromancy. Like,
Got it.
like I don't know how else to explain. It's a liquor license, but
Yeah.
necromancy.
Yeah. Okay. I'll put the badge like in the belt buckle of my hat, but I'll also uh keep it hidden off with the disguise self
Fair
most of
enough.
the time. Like, yeah, having a badge to flash is useful, but I don't want to show it off all of the time.
Right.
Uh,
Oh. I guess. Is there anything else you would like to do?
not within the immediate scene,
Okay.
but I do think that for the next like week, Violet is like slowly getting more obsessed with this notebook and the rule book and basically tearing apart Dead End Labor, trying to find anything about where Farad has gone.
Okay, cool. So I think that's actually a good. I think that's actually a good time to transition into our downtime activities, where I'm definitely stealing this from Brennan Lee Mulligan because it's actually a really good downtime activity system where I'm just gonna have you guys roll skill checks with increasing DC difficulty throughout the weeks, just basically to play catch up for you guys to figure out like what do you guys plan on doing for the next major event. So this is mostly just like you guys you guys can like if you want to like gain more information about something, you would roll an investigation check and the DC would be lower than if it was like your fourth check down the line. You know what I mean?
I see.
But just know that every activity that you do, it is going to be increasing in difficulty with a base of 10. So your first roll will be DC 10, and then it increases over time. And then we're going to take a whole month to kind of get everything organized. So that way we have time for specifically for Serina to get back into the swing of her day-to-day activities, but also so that way you guys have the leisure space to um, to gather resources, gather information, and you guys don't technically all have to be together to do that. You can do that all within the city of Blasphatan.
Okay.
So I guess the first thing I'm going to start with is what is for the whole first week. What are you guys planning on doing, like individually? We'll start with Violet.
Yeah, I kind of already said, but Violet is basically slowly over the course of the week getting more desperate to find anything at all within Dead End Labor about Farad's whereabouts.
Okay. Yeah, so in that case, that would definitely be an investigation check. So go ahead and roll that. DC will be 10. And then another thing I forgot to mention for every 5-step increment you go above the DC, something. You get a boon effectively associated with that week's worth of labor.
Nice.
So if you got like
Cool. Well, I rolled a 17.
so that's 5 over. So so you
Yeah.
get a small boon, and then obviously the next DC will be higher, but you know what I mean. So so yeah, so you passed. So with a 17, as you spend the majority of this week scrounging every inch, lifting every loose plank, searching for any sort of hidden passageways or secret laboratories or what have you, all throughout Dead End Labor, with the aid of Hansy and Facade, the homunculus, and Mr. Bones and Skelebroom, the sweeping skeleton. You guys collectively basically turn Dead End Labor inside out, and you do find a few things, but there's nothing like truly outrageous. It seems that he kept this. Your Manas Al Farad kept the shop very much as intended as a shop, with that he just happened to live in the upper floor. Uh, the one thing that did catch your eye, however, were the various skeletons that were in his room. The one of like every humanoid species that like reasonably can communicate with one another. You realize that Manas is a very meticulous necromancer. He doesn't do things by halves, and he keeps a very meticulous record of everything, especially based on the notebook that you found, right? But the skeletons are all in a wonky order. So like you'll have like a goblin in the middle, and then like you'd have the human off to the very far end, and then you'd have like an elf skeleton like right next to a halfling and things of that nature. Like something about that order bugged you, and so you spent some time basically with the help of the others reorganizing them in a order of escalating height, and then once all of those were in place, you got a sense that some sort of magical lock was undone, but you didn't see any like door or anything like that open up. So what you ended up discovering is that when you closed the door to the room and you opened it once more, it led to some place that wasn't dead end labor. It seems to have led to a cave somewhere in the outskirts of Abu Kanasta.
What the fuck? Why does he have a howl's moving castle door?
That's pretty sick.
I don't know how. I'm hesitant to go in immediately and go in alone.
Yeah.
This feels like danger a bit.
I'm in danger. I mean, so I will say that the boon is that you discovered this otherwise secret puzzle that I had designed. So, um, glad you chose this as the first one. So you know how to deactivate it and reactivate it at any time. So, but you just so from what I'm understanding, you just haven't made the first step out of the door.
Yeah, I see this and I hesitate.
Okay. Um, is there anything else you would like to do for this week of work besides just turning dead end labor upside down?
I think after like she finally gets this step of like finding the door is when she finally goes outside for the first time in like a week.
You close the door and then do you just leave the shop? Is that what you're saying, or do you take a step out
Yeah,
to the
I think I'm
cave?
gonna take a break before dealing with that.
Okay. As you close the door,
I haven't gotten an update from Scorb in a while yet either.
yeah. So as you close the door, you hear the sound of shambling bones as all the skeletons that you had meticulously put in order scramble themselves once more into this awkward pattern of skeletal heights, thus resetting the arcane lock of that door. So when you open the door, it returns to dead end labor. And then you go outside to get some fresh air.
Yeah.
Serina, this whole week, what is something that you want to do? What do you want to work on this week?
Well, there's a couple things. First off is obviously going to stiff some boards and checking on Jeremy and Lily.
Okay, easy enough.
Being very apologetic.
Easy enough.
For dying, like come on. You don't have to apologize for that.
I was gonna say.
Well, no, she's
They
more
don't-
apologizing for the fact that she said, "Hey, I'm gonna take you in," and then disappear the next day.
Oh, it was like the next day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
It was
Yeah.
immediately the next day.
no.
Yeah,
And it's been like months now.
yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
the weirdest surrogate mom mode ever. Where's
So she's
mom?
like,
She went out to get groceries, but it's been a couple months now, so
it's like super apologetic towards them.
yeah.
Um,
They Jeremy, being the more emotional one, is definitely like just happy to know that you're alive. And
yeah.
he immediately bombards you with questions. Where have you been? Have you been eating well? Are you okay? How are your friends? Hey, the business hasn't exploded. I did a good job. That sort of thing. You know what I mean? And then
She answers every question in turn, just being very kind of like blunt about it, like the have you been eating? Honestly, no.
yeah, and then Lily, being the more, I guess, stoic of the two,
Yeah.
she does give you like the actual like numbers reports of all the goings on that had happened while you were away. Surprisingly, business wasn't booming, but
Yeah.
after the whole travesty that happened, um, business definitely died down. There were a significant less number of deaths after some new policies were implemented, and as a result, business had slowed down. But overall, they had stayed consistent with like the necromantic order constantly bringing in new bodies for them to work on, but they never worked on maybe more than 2 a week.
Okay, that's about normal then.
Yeah, so what after the big scare,
Yeah.
then everything kind of plateaued, and then it just went back to business as usual.
Okay. Um, definitely during this week, she's like, all right, Lily, I'm going to over the next like month or so, she's probably gonna this is for later, but she'll work with Lily to teach her what she knows about doing the like serious stuff of necromancy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing where Lily's at and stuff like that. But for this first week, it was mostly getting situated back with stiffs and boards, back with the kids, and then taking the other thing is taking up the priestesses of Anwa Balora's offer and going to them to kind of like readjust to being back alive.
Yeah. Okay. So I would say for this, I would say the education and the rehabilitation. I'm gonna give you a choice of either Arcana or Religion, depending on how you feel about the topics.
Okay. Hmm. +1 or +1?
The choices are mounting.
She'll. I think it's gonna be probably religion, just because she feels like this is like their whole thing of the god they worship and stuff. Like she's very different
Yeah.
than my god, so it's like I'll give it a shot, I guess.
Actually, now that I think about it, beforehand, uh, I will say you can prioritize one or the other. You can
Okay,
prioritize your rehabilitation, in which case it will be an Arcana or Religion, depending on how you want to slice it, or
right.
you can spend time focusing on educating the kids in internment, and in
Uh,
which case that would be a medicine.
okay. It'd probably uh focus on the kids more than rehabilitation. Like she feels that if she gets back to like a normalized day-to-day more than relying on a god that that doesn't is like the antithesis, not the antithesis, but like very different than what she's part of.
Mm-hmm.
She'll gain more of a sense of self and hopefully work through some things that are in her brain.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So go ahead and roll the medicine check to basically impart your knowledge to to Lily and Jeremy.
Hey, I'm gonna use an inspiration.
Okay. Fair
I
enough.
rolled a 1.
Oof. Ooh, off to a good start, huh?
Yeah.
New body, who
She's
dis?
rusty. She's rusty.
Yeah. New body, who dis?
It's an 11. I broke the 10. We're
That's
good.
what's all that matters. You broke a 10. Yeah. So, um, I would say just the exhaustion
Yeah.
of just being resurrected because you still are under the effects of exhaustion, and this past week has just been nothing but you just constantly being in a state of lethargy, but you still want to impart your knowledge to Lily and Jeremy to make sure that should something like this ever occur again, though the gods be good that it never does,
Yeah.
it it is something that you wanted to make sure that you focused on at the expense of your rehabilitation. Uh, I will say that yeah, they have all the basics down, and like surprisingly Jeremy is better at doing the arcane etchings than Lily is, whereas Lily is very good at dissecting and disemboweling the corpses for processing.
Gotcha. Okay.
So they make a good team. They're not one, like together they make one competent Serina Silt. Like
Cool.
yeah. You also, I would say, because you just passed it, I would say you know that Jeremy actually has an inkling for magic as a result of him
Oh.
being able to at least catch on to the arcane etchings a lot more quickly than Lily.
Awesome.
Uh,
Would Serena, like, in the past made like connections with like mage or magic tutors? Do you think?
um, I think outside of what your the purview of what your business is, I don't think
Yeah.
she would have made too many connections with magi outside of them being like, hey, my apprentice or my master died, or like a member of my family died, can you give them a proper send off?
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
But that can definitely be
They-
something that you can do in the next week, which by the way, after
Yeah.
this whole week, you can remove your level of exhaustion. You're no longer considered undead.
Hooray!
It was a whole week of exhaustion.
Yep.
Scorb, what would you like to do for your first week of the month?
So, I hate to do this, but I was gone for a little bit. The last thing that I remember hearing, other than what Violet and Serena are doing with their first week, is I'm just. What did I miss?
So that's actually it. They just Violet discovered discovered a puzzle door for within Dead End Labor, which led to a cave which she was hesitant to go into. So she closed the door and was able to return back to Dead End Labor. It's a Howl's Moving Castle kind of door. Solve the
Mhm.
puzzle. The door goes into someplace else, somewhere in the world, and then you close the door.
So I heard that bit. Serena and I were in the middle of talking about something when I had to step away. Like,
Yeah,
was there any story, anything I missed?
the main thing that happened was Violet accepted being part of the necromantic circle.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Violet's
And-
now certified.
And then this whole thing that we're doing is we're going week by week for the month. And then you're gonna, depending on what you do, you're gonna make an increasingly difficult check to determine you're successful of whatever it is you're doing for like getting resources, stuff like that.
And then if you
Oh,
succeed
okay.
the check by 5 or more, for every increment of 5, you get a boon associated with that, with the increase. So like if you rolled like a 20 on your first check, that's 2 steps over, so you would have like a major boon as a result.
I see. Well, I'm not really sure what Squarb would be working on during this downtime, other than attempting to learn what he can locally about the corruption in the Skara Audin, the stuff that's above his captain's head.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can think of for him to work on at this particular time, just because he's got nothing else that's more pressing, because everything else that's relating to the cult is already being taken care of elsewhere right this second.
Right.
So he's straight up. So I think he's going to start doing his own little investigation into the corruption in the Skara Audin.
Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna give you so it's gonna be DC 10 for an investigation, and I'm gonna give you advantage because you already have some insider knowledge on the issue, and so you're basically just following leads at this point.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and take that investigation roll. Hang on. Oh, both are bad. I'd actually like to take an inspiration to redo that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. There we go. We are looking at a dirty 20.
So okay, cool. So that's double what the DC is. So a boon, a major boon, in fact. Yeah. So you're doing something that you haven't done in a very long time. You are putting talons to pavement. You're no longer observing from the skies and then descending onto a problem. You're putting feet to pavement, and you're going basically person to person, door to door, asking, "Hey, as a citizen, how have the Skara Dean been?" And my thing just dropped. So hold on a second.
Oh,
And,
Old.
yeah, I love when my stream drops. It's the best.
Yo, are we back?
We should be, according to my OBS.
Looks like we're back on Twitch also.
Perfect.
I don't think we lost too much.
Nah, we didn't. Not by the looks of it. Alrighty. But yeah, I love when my OBS decides to stop working briefly. But yeah, so you keep going over and over with different people. Everybody has a different story. Everybody is saying, like, some of the more like well-to-do individuals, people who work more closely towards the royal archives or in like the high-end merchant districts, would tell you that they're doing their job as intended, though they they're still doing the same thing that they've always been doing. They're keeping the goblins and the kobolds safe, they're keeping the banks in line, and they're keeping the coin flowing. But as you go into the lower districts, into the residential districts and like the bazaar, like the open air bazaar and things of nature, people have noticed that they are getting more militarized, but there hasn't been any activity that would suggest that more people are being arrested as a result of this increase in militarization. And then a lot of people are more confused as to why they're suddenly more militarized versus what they had beforehand. You would know, being on the other side of that perspective, that this was an immediate response to the bombing of the HQ a few months back. And so they were able to rapidly expand their military power in response to this event happening. And you would also know that the merchant princes allowed this increase because they were afraid that the other branches of the Skara Audin would be attacked. And then as you spoke to some merchants, the merchants would verify that, yeah, the Blazvotan is not the only city that has increased armaments, and that they're not the only ones that had rapid expansion within the Skara Audin. All Scarab cities have basically a standing army ready to go should something happen. And that some of the merchants have said, now you didn't hear this from me, but I heard that they're planning a military campaign up near the Dragonspine Mountains to take down the people who attacked Blasvatan.
Huh. Interesting. I don't know how to feel about that. Still, Squarb takes a quick note, and man, that is definitely something he's going to need to sit and talk about with the rest of the party and see what they think.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've been working with him closely on this particular case. He's not necessarily been able to pay attention to the overall political situation around Blasvatan.
Yeah.
So it's a bit shocking to hear that what's name that the cops are being militarized in this way.
Yeah. And just to reiterate, you guys are cops in name. You guys are technically the standing military for the country of Abu Kanasta. But
right.
you guys are just getting.
But,
you guys
like-
have been in such a lax state because peace and prosperity has reigned over Abu Kanasta for so long that suddenly being attacked put everybody into a state of shock.
Right.
But is that all you
Well-
want to do this week?
I mean, that's most of what he's going to be doing is just trying to figure out what the hell is happening. Something's going on above Lee's head. We've got an understanding that the Skaraudin is generally being militarized, is my understanding here. Not militarized. Shit.
They're
Sorry, I'm having a hard
expanding.
time with words.
Yeah, their
Yeah.
military might has expanded exponentially as a result of the attack. Yes.
Yeah. Which Scorb's not really sure how to process. The attack itself wasn't a military attack. It was a small cell of assholes who wanted people that we'd taken into custody back. So he's a little confused as to why that disproportionate response. So
Right.
that's something he wants to talk to his party about and see what they think. Also, possibly he wants to sit down with Manas and Persephone, or sorry, Minaj and Persephone to try and figure out what the fuck is up.
Right. Just to remind you that Manoj and Persephone have been deployed to the front lines of that military operation. Which is why
Right.
they
I
were,
apologize.
but just you can still send letters, but just know that
Yeah.
they are deployed. Okay. So
I think best bet's to sit down with the party first and see what they think.
okay.
Because this is absolutely tied into something that we're dealing with. He's just not sure how yet.
Absolutely. All right. Well, with week 1 done, if you guys haven't already, I don't know if you guys have taken a long rest, but go ahead and do that. Frog, go ahead and remove your level of exhaustion and your undead status,
Yep.
and then we will move directly on to week 2. So some other options you guys can work on for the following 3 weeks is that you can work on gaining some money, just to see if you can accrue some more riches into your coffers. You can go shopping. You can, you can do crafting if you want. Anything that you think that your character would do to kind of help build assets or to get yourselves ready for whatever may come next. You guys can do in the next 3 rolls. So the next DC is going to be DC 12. So, starting with Violet, what would you like to do for this week?
I'm kind of in a similar place as Scorb, where I think I need to talk with my party about my discovery here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
So I guess I'll then
think this is a good meeting week.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I
do
think
you
so
guys just
too.
want to spend this week just compiling information and just coming up with a strategy from here?
It wouldn't be a bad choice.
Okay, cool. Then in that case, there will not be a roll for this week. It's because you guys are just coming together and you're just compiling information. But any sort of information you guys want in relation to the conversation, the roll will still be associated for that week to gather that information. Was that fair?
Mm.
Okay. So, where do you all meet?
We haven't been back to Niela's Nook in a long time. Squarb's gonna suggest meeting there.
Yeah.
So Scorb, you send out a sending through the earrings to your party members to say, "Hey, let's all meet up at Miela's Nook. It's been a hot minute. It's been a week, so let's all come back and start coming up with a new plan." Uh,
Serena does not have an earring.
Oh shit!
Serena receives a letter.
I was gonna say if Serena doesn't have an earring, but Squarb can just like go to stiffs and boards.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Scorb makes a house
And-
call.
Squarb makes a house call, drops off a new earring.
Flies
And like
back to do
also
his
Violet
investigation.
is like right there.
Yeah, but like Scorb drops off an earring, flies off, does his investigation for the week, then makes a phone call to everybody and says, "Hey, yo, let's meet up at the bar."
Yeah, basically.
We got it. We're here. We made it.
Yep.
So you all make it to Niella's Nook. You guys, being quote unquote regulars there, for the most part, you see Bob, the Coleopteryx, at the stairs, and he gives you a knowing nod. He doesn't need the token anymore, and he lets you guys go upstairs because he assumes you guys are meeting Kassar. And then you see Frank, the other Coleopteryx at the top. He gives you a knowing nod, and he just waves you over to whatever tables that you want. The second floor is usually pretty empty. It's the middle of the day. There's nobody here right now to really get rowdy, but they are preparing for night service.
Cool. Perfect time for us then.
Exactly. So the three of you sit down at a table. This nice, warm, glowing orange crystal being the source of light at the table, and you get a cute little magical hologram of one of the bartenders, the elvish man, and he goes, "Any specialty drinks or just something casual for the time?"
Water's fine.
Okay. How about you two?
Same here.
Coffee.
Got you. And then he just disappears from your view. Uh, and then about a couple minutes pass by, and you see that there's a new employee here at Niella's Nook. You see this orb of light sort of hovers and jingles along with this tray on top of them, and they set the tray down, and then when the orb of light sort of fades, you see that there is a fairy that is serving you your drinks, and he's wearing this nice uh like black tie suit. He's got like a little he's got a little vest on and little like fancy boots, and he goes, "All right, waters."
And a coffee.
Yep, and then here you are, and he like pushes the coffee cup to you, and then he has to change his size to be about the size of a halfling before he can properly pour you your cup of coffee, and then he goes, "Would you like me to leave the pitcher?"
Please.
Yeah.
Of course. All right. Well, if you need me, I'll be down there. And then he just shrinks back to his tiny size, turns into a ball of light, and then flutters back down. All right. Drinks have been served. What would you like to discuss?
Who wants to start?
Serena, you're alive.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen you this week at all.
No, I was busy catching up with the kids.
Me too. I was busy searching.
I'm glad you're okay, Violet.
We'll see.
What? Yeah.
Uh
I do have a question later for you.
yeah.
Um, we can talk about it after this meeting.
Okay.
It's nothing bad, it's just how to deal with something.
Also, okay, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, pretty much this past week I've just been adjusting and kind of teaching the kids what I know. That's all I've been doing. Um, I I guess I could fill you guys in on what I know about what the cult was kind of working on, what I saw, quote unquote
That
saw.
would be very nice.
I think that would be a very good place for us to start. Yes.
Okay.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. And she just like being a stone person, she just kind of takes the coffee and downs it. Yep. And just kind of loudly sets the cup down. All right. Um and then kind of just starts going into what she can. Okay. I see. Okay. Okay. That's a 4. Slightly worried. Oh, also, I need to figure out how to get a weapon and a shield. She just mentions offhandedly. She's like, I'd have nothing.
Oh, and I also realized that I had muted myself, and so when people said okay, when you said okay, it's a 4. Nobody
Yeah.
on stream knows what I just said.
Oh, damn.
That's funny.
Mysterious.
Worried. Interesting.
No one needs
yes.
to know.
No one needs to
Mm.
know.
I mean, I have my armor,
I'm not
but
sure.
I
Shield and a weapon, that's pretty easy to get.
yeah, I also have no money right now.
Hate transcribing everything.
I mean, I can give you like 150, I think.
Oh God, that would probably do it. I don't imagine
There you go.
I need the whole thing. Oh boy.
Pick your DMs.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
That's a small list of what you did.
Uh, uh, um,
Bet you I know which one you read.
yeah. um. Oh, good. Oh, good.
Oh.
Oh, good. All right. Well, shit.
Bet you found out what that
All
D4 is
right.
now for.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you want to start?
We're gonna go down the list.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Serena gets this like kind of detached look in her eyes.
Whoa.
Begins to
If it's too
Um,
much, you don't have to go into it all.
No, we're gonna nope.
All right.
It's important.
I understand.
All right.
You'll see Serena disassociate for a brief moment.
Yep. So I quote unquote I
Yeah, you don't have to say die. That feels
it's
worse.
easiest.
Okay.
I assaulted multiple villages along with the cult. They were all razed to the ground. Had a
Mhm.
hand in innumerable deaths of merchants and traders that left from the scarab cities and tried to leave the country.
Oh,
Drop the tunnels. um, I was working with the cult to seek artifacts of the other 3 gods of desolation. So that's a thing. There's 3 other gods of desolation.
I think we knew that. Were you able to successfully find anything?
We were only able to locate a minor artifact of the scorpion goddess, Shirati?
Hmm.
Skyrati. It was a statue of a scorpion, with the upper body of a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Um, whatever money I had on me, along with whatever money we got from raising the villages and merchants and stuff, we basically used to arm the cults and fund their rituals. Uh, we you guys know about the tavern.
Yep.
After the
I
tavern.
had the thieves' respite one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I have been the catalyst for the cult summoning of centipedes of desolation. There are currently 5.
Hmm. Yeah.
The bad ones.
Yeah.
Many cultists I witnessed turn into abominations. And there were other um chosen of gods. There are 4 less now.
Oh.
Wait,
Yeah.
could I ask you to repeat that? I'm sorry.
Um so there are other chosen of the gods.
Mm-hmm.
I killed 4 of them.
Ah.
Oh.
So,
Ah.
that's what I've been up to. Yeah.
Oh.
Mostly bad things, very bad things. Uh yeah. The village part is kind of sticking with me the most, I think, because
Yeah.
that's kind of what happened to me.
Hmm. Yep.
Pours another cup of coffee and starts drinking it. uh, so we have to worry now about the cult trying to find other artifacts. We have to worry about centipedes of desolation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't imagine other servants of the gods or like priests or whatever is going to be too happy to see me if we run into them.
Ooh.
Actually, I think that helps explain a lot of questions that I had this week. I
Oh,
I spent the week investigating corruption in the Skara Audin. Um, put simply, while we've always been a military force, uh, well, I say we, the, how do I put this? They're being significantly more militarized than they were prior to the attack on the sixth chapter's headquarters.
Right.
And to me, it felt like a disproportionate response because they're currently planning a military operation over near the Dragon. Sorry, brain blanking.
Dragon Spine.
Dragonspine Mountains. They're currently planning a military operation over near the Dragonspine Mountains, where we were looking for you. And that tells me they know something we don't know.
Hmm. Would make sense. Do I? That's interesting. Do I remember if any of the cultists I saw like wore like Gara Aldine uniform at any point?
Roll a history check.
It would really shock me if anybody who was in the Scar Audine wore anything resembling their uniform.
Yeah, no, that's a 7. Probably not.
Nothing
was
comes
almost
to
a nat
mi-
20.
Nothing comes to mind. No.
Okay.
I
Just-
can say that everything that's happening with my chapter is happening above my captain's head.
Makes sense.
So somebody above the sixth chapter knows something that we don't know and has authorized a military operation in the Dragonspine Mountains.
Well, you guys have the ear of the Merchant Prince, don't you?
We do. I'm
Probably
not sure
ask
what
him.
I'm not sure what they'll be able to tell us though.
They'd know more than we do now.
That's fair. I would hope that we've developed some level of rapport, so maybe they'll tell us something.
They
Hang
have-
on.
They have to meet me anyway.
I think I have a way to contact the Merchant Prince directly. I could have sworn I did at least.
Yeah, you have the royal sending ring. You should.
Yeah, I was just looking for it in my inventory. Apparently I didn't. Oh, I did write it down. It's just over here. Okay. So yeah, no, Empress Earring, here it is. Sending with Merchant Prince Ebica. Cool. Hey, I'm where Ebica is. I think that during our next week or so, we should try and schedule a meeting with her. But before we do that, Violet, you said you had things to check in with us on?
Uh, yeah, mine is much more of a personal thing.
It's still
Uh,
important.
yeah. It's just not Cult of Golion related. Um, I've found a door in my shop that leads to a cave, like a magical cave, like way outside of the city. Uh, and I need to know what's going on with Farad.
I mean, I'm down to go look.
We'll be more than happy to assist you with this. You've helped us more than me. You've helped me more than enough. It's the least I can do to help you with this.
Yeah, it feels a little bit unrelated to the world ending.
I disagree. We don't know if this is connected or not, but everything that we've gone through has somehow been connected with everything going on around us. I'm sorry, I'm having a very hard time conveying the point that I actually mean to make. What I mean is, well, we don't know that it's connected. It very well could be and is worth checking out.
All right.
And hey, even if it's not related at all, it's probably something useful.
Exactly.
Hopefully.
Push comes to shove, it's at the very least something that helps you, and I'm alright with just helping you.
I
Yeah.
do need to get equipped before we go, just in case, though.
Yes.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
Violet hands you a pouch of 150 gold.
Thank you.
Also,
Like get supplied a bit.
our previous companion, Millennia, left some equipment that I personally can't make use of, and I don't think that anybody else we travel with can.
Oh.
And Squab pulls the belt of giant strength out of his bag and just offers it to Serena. Is this something you might be able to make use of? She said it made her stronger.
I mean, now, Serena kind of flexes her hand a bit. Yeah, no, that'll help.
Okay. Let's give it a minute. Let's get you equipped and then carry on, I suppose. I think first on our list, though, are we good to sit down with Ebika?
Yeah, you guys have.
I'm good. Are you? Sorry, that was Squarb asking the party.
Copy.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to contact her and attempt to and see if I can get a meeting scheduled for sometime in the next week.
Mhm.
And then Squarb's going to go off to a dark corner of Niella's Nook and do exactly that.
Just pick a corner somewhere on the second floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you get you get the voice of not Abika, but instead one of the shadow cats that works under her. And
That's fine.
They kind of work along with you to find some time next week to get an appointment squared away. Which
Yeah.
makes sense. You recall she was already pretty busy with a bunch of documents.
Very busy.
So,
Yeah.
you know. Turns out when you manage an entire mobile city, you tend to be busy. But yeah, no, you have a you have a scheduled date. The only free time they had would be sometime near the end of next week, but you have that schedule for
Excellent. That works just fine for me because that gives Squarb time to do further investigation while he's working.
you.
Or,
Okay?
well, it gives him time to do stuff next week.
Yeah, it gives him stuff to do for his week.
Oh, Squarp also, that decanter of endless water, it's not attunement.
Okay.
You can just use it.
I mean, I'll Squarb doesn't necessarily need it, but it's also just it's a tool. He'll keep a hold of it, and like
it's
push comes to shove, he'll just give it to somebody else.
it's incredibly useful just for survival's sake. It is literally endless.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's not like he's thinking about selling it. He's just
yeah, it's just good to have.
he's probably going to end up giving it to Visper
I see.
because Millennia was her guard.
Yeah.
Yes, let us give
Yeah.
the chaotic sorcerer an endless supply water gun. Nothing can possibly go wrong.
Oh no,
Yeah.
it couldn't. Couldn't ever.
There are no
Yeah,
consequences.
well, yeah. I'm sure it's fine.
I'm sure it's fine,
She could put out her own fires now.
right?
Yes.
She's not here right now, so she's not getting the decanter of endless water.
But we now have that as a thing. Well, there you go. You can as a bonus. You can as an action or a bonus action. I don't remember. Just put out your own fires. Forward thinking.
So yeah, just let me know when you're all equipped and ready to go explore a cave.
Will do.
I'm ready at any given time. Squarb will return to the table after getting the meeting scheduled. Also, we have a meeting scheduled with Ebika at the end of next week.
Okay. And
So
I guess
hopefully we'll be able to glean some information about the military operation happening over at the Dragon Spine, because that's a lot. And yeah, we'll see.
And now that the cat's out of the bag, hey Violet, how you're probably the most likely person to know how to answer this. How do you deal with memories that are yours but not yours?
Ooh. Ah,
How do you cope with that?
I mostly haven't.
Okay. Shit.
How do you handle
So-
that? I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I still haven't fully tackled what I remembered back in the Feywilds. So that was a while ago.
Uh,
That's funny.
Get a therapist about it. I don't know.
Ah, yes, a fantasy.
But we don't really have
therapist.
time, so
yeah, no. All right. I figured I'd ask.
The idea, the idea of an undead amnesiac girl telling somebody who just got resurrected, find a therapist for your amnesia, is the funniest fucking thing to me.
I desperately
what
wish
else
we
are
had
you
somebody.
supposed to do? Like,
It's just,
I wish we
I mean,
had an
I'm currently
animator.
dealing with it uh by tearing apart my house for any hint of where my old master went and following him into a cave, maybe?
that sounds like a
I
midlife
see.
crisis. I've created, I've compelled characters to go through trauma and seek therapy and go through midlife crises.
Well, in Violet's case, it's post-life crisis.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's still good. Overcoming trauma, seeking therapy, post-life crises, all here at D&D. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Oh my goodness.
I feel like I can't really deal with it until like I know it.
Alrighty, so outside of the meeting that you guys will be having next week, is there anything else you guys would like to do for the remainder of this week? I'm gonna say that this meeting was like a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what
Uh
are you doing this
Yeah, like
week?
20 minutes at the most.
This was like a brunch. You guys had like a couple hours of a brunch.
Yeah.
Like, glad to see we're all still alive. No
I mean,
offense.
Serena has some gearing up to do.
Yeah.
That she does.
Okay.
Oh, actually, out of curiosity, how much of Serena's gearing up could we potentially expense to the Skara Audine, since she is still working on official business?
I'm so glad you brought that up, sir.
Also, doesn't Etna and Kassar have crafting that they've done with stuff they brought back
The
from the
Jabberwock?
Feywild? Yeah.
So-
Jabberwock
Yeah.
stuff?
I'm so glad you brought that up, Frog.
That crossed my mind.
Violet, do you want to make this a 3-for-3 revelation?
Sure, let's go talk to Kassar. Kassar, because he's right here.
Yeah, he's just
Right.
behind the door.
Like, knock on the door, like, hey.
You hear scrabbling as the lizard jumps back from the door.
Dude.
One moment.
Like, I get it's like your whole thing, but like,
Every time
it's
he
rude.
every time he hears the door swing open at the front, he immediately scrambles his ear to the fucking door and just be like, "Are they coming up the stairs?" Okay. Kassar, game face.
Oh, it's been way too long since I've heard this voice.
No, but you guys knock on the door and you see Titan. He opens the door and he goes, "Hello, everybody."
Titan, my friend, how have you been?
Serena smiles wide and actually goes to hug Titan.
Oh, good to see you too, sister.
It's glad to see you and alive. What Earth Genasi. I'm just
I understand. Please, sit. Master Kassar will be back shortly.
Okay.
And then you see that he is currently preparing tea for all of you with his ginormous hands. It's a delicate process.
Please tell me the teacups are just so tiny.
So you know how the size of the Hulk's hand is?
Yeah.
Yep.
Imagine him holding a teacup.
Yeah, that's pretty amusing to picture.
Yeah, that's tight. So he hands you all freshly brewed tea, and he goes, "Please try it. We just brought it in.
Hmm.
It's dragon fruit."
Interesting. I've never heard of that before. What is it?
I don't know, but Kassar and Etna said it's a very rare sort of fruit that was pulled in from the continent beyond the Dragon Spine Mountains. It's a rare fruit that grows in the wilds beyond.
Fascinating. Squarb takes a sip.
It's got this tangy, fruity flavor to it that then like mellows out. Think like chamomile tea if it had essence of dragon fruit in it.
Cool.
Ooh.
Oh, that actually sounds delightful.
Right? This is
Right?
so yeah, so it's got this very warm, relaxing, full body flavor to it that then like has a hint of like this tangy, fruity sweetness to it. And that is essentially the dragon fruit tea. And as you guys all take a sip and you enjoy yourselves, you can see that he's smiling contently, like he brewed it right. He's very proud of himself for that. And then after you guys have taken your initial sip, you see the inky black portal open behind Kassar's desk once more, and then immediately this large gust of wind in sand begins to bellow out before you see Kassar and Etna wrapped head to toe in like thin fabrics that have been used to block out the sun and sand, and then you just see Kassar and he's just reaching out and like struggling to close his own portal before it inevitably shuts down. And as he just unravels the rags, he goes, "Etna, remind Kassar never to do business with them ever again." And you see Etna just starts unraveling her own rags, and you see her beehive hair just still in pristine condition as she begins to like magically light a cigarette. Like, yeah, don't need to tell me twice.
Business troubles, friends?
What the?
We need like a side series of you two.
Right.
Ah, friends, good. Oh my goodness, Serina Silt, Kassar is happy to see you alive and well.
Alive. Yes. Well, not. Yeah. Subjective.
We're working on that.
Oh, apologies. Did sand get in the tea?
No.
No.
Oh,
The tea's lovely, actually.
yes, we
There's
just.
a bit in mine, but like,
It's like, but like I
Doesn't
can't. I
matter.
can't taste it. Like,
yeah,
it's like,
Sir,
I kind of feel bad for taking the tea.
no. Do not be sad. We have many types of tea. Many types.
I can't taste it. What's the point?
Kassar appreciates your courtesy. Now
Okay.
then,
It
one
drinks
moment.
the sand tea.
You get this weird. You have slight grains in it, like that just
Yeah.
kind of roll off your tongue, but otherwise, it's just a warm liquid.
Yeah.
That just kind of like warms your body momentarily before it resets to a cold climate again.
Yeah. All tea is the same, really, to me.
And
It has to be like exceptionally bitter.
or just like
sweet. Like
Just
it
straight
has to be,
poison.
like,
Yeah, you basically
Yeah.
had to drink poison.
yeah, I drank poison tea once, and it was pretty great, actually.
Does
Oh
does
yeah.
Violet put a bunch of hot sauce on things to taste it?
Yeah,
Violet's the kind.
spicy is like one of the only tastes she can do.
Violet's the kind of
Violet
gal.
carries around a rather familiar-looking box of funerary spices for her food.
Violet's the kind of gal to carry around deadly nightshades solely for the sake of the poison makes the food taste better.
You tried putting deadly nightshade in my soup.
Yum.
Yum.
I say yum. It's like a really bitter, and I'm not a huge fan of bitter, but like compared to nothing.
But you also just put like
That's fair.
you also just put like half a harvest worth of nightshade in your soup.
And
Regardless, so forgive Kassar and Etna. One moment while we freshen up, and then they walk out into a side door that wasn't there before, but now exists. And they just go behind.
renovations.
They close behind closed doors. You see Titan is still standing there. So, how have you all been?
Alive? Mostly, he says, casting a sideways glance to Violet and Serena. Okay, not even mostly, but
Like entirely
Yeah,
side-eyed them.
I am happy to be alive.
I am as well. So,
anyway, it's our first time back in town after a while, and we just remembered that we'd left some materials with the two of you.
yes. I have been working on those for some time. One moment, please, while I go fetch them. And he also goes into the side door. And then you hear just a slight and now the three of you are left alone in the room with tea.
That's fine.
Sometimes I drink the failed poisons because they taste like Mountain Dew.
Oh,
Just grabs the big red bottle. Hey, it's code red.
Yeah,
oh.
the less potent ones, the ones that fail to be actually viable poisons.
She's building up an immunity.
Oh. Alright, here. So Did I
They're the
finish?
only liquid that has any taste.
Did I finish crafting those items? That's the better question.
Oh,
I was so busy. I don't even know if I finished crafting these items. If not, I will make a note of them. And wait, did I read this? Ooh, I didn't finish that item.
oh no.
Oh no.
I'll have to edit that later, but it exists. That's what's important. So that's one. Let me see here. What else did I do? Oh, right. Jesus. Yeah, I'll let her have it.
I'm going to assume you mean Visper.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, smile emoji. Okay.
Because only
nothing to
Visper
do with
gives
fire,
you that
right?
reaction.
Please.
What was that?
Nothing to do with fire, right?
No.
Okay.
Is it the laser eye?
What?
Yeah, the Jabberwock had a laser eye.
Oh, I did finish this item. Oh, thank God. Okay, well, Visper will be happy when she comes back. Let me see. That is a subclass. I will have to talk about that one later. Let me see here. When did I craft? Oh, yeah, that was for the Halloween one shot. I remember that. You go
Hey, if
back
you
and you see
guys
all your items. You just got fucking.
if you guys go to Ekion's YouTube channel, you can go watch that Halloween one shot
The
and discover
Halloween
what
one
that item
shot,
is.
yeah, it's real good. And also subscribe.
I
It's
forgot.
up,
like
Snurb.
Mafia
when
plays a character named Mist.
I play Skizit,
I
a
play
plasmoid. He's
I
disgusting.
play probably one of my favorite characters that I've been able to do for a one shot.
I really like Nancy a
I-
lot.
Nancy was a lot of fun, but I liked all of your
Skizit was a ton of
characters.
fun.
Yeah. It's such great pathos, you know, just playing
Right.
something that's not depressed.
But I
Yeah.
also just really liked playing a disgusting fucking plasmoid.
Okay,
I feel
so,
like I don't play up the body horror of Violet enough sometimes.
yeah.
You
I
really
think you
should
play
lean
it up the
into it.
perfect amount for this game, personally.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, I managed to complete one item, and I have an incomplete second item. And I didn't build two of the other items that I thought I had built, but I guess I didn't.
I see.
So, that's gonna be fun. However, I do remember all of the effects that I had. So, it works out. I just need to double check something to make sure uh, that I wrote it down properly because my memory is shoddy, but my notes are equally shoddy. But at least I know I wrote down notes. So,
I like how this is twice now. This episode, I forced you to do your job.
listen, I I am a DM that loves to ride by the seat of their pants because I don't like having contingencies broken. So like I all I care about is this is point A, here's where I hope to get to. Can you guys make it to point B at that time?
that's literally what I'm doing. One of my things I'm doing as a side project is I'm play testing a new tabletop system alongside a buddy of mine here. And literally for our playtest tomorrow, it's just going to be like an episode of Cowboy Bebop where the party gets hired to hunt down a guy. Please, for the love of God, find the guy.
Please find the guy.
There's nothing else to do if you don't find the guy. Yeah.
It's not even that there's nothing else to do. It's just, I'm,
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
just really not good at encounter building yet. So it's good practice at least.
It
But it's also a
yes.
completely different system.
It definitely takes a bit. But while we're doing this, eventually all three of them come out. Kassar is in his normal, like, very dark attire, but like still, like you can clearly tell it's his merchant's attire, and he takes his seat.
hmm
Etna still has a lit cigarette in her hand, but she's just back to her normal garb. Although she let her hair down now, and you realize that her hair trails past her feet and kind of drag. She's got like Rapunzel style hair. Like it's long enough where if she let her hair not be a beehive, it's doing this. But she needed her hair down after a while, so she just like you see you see that Titan who's carrying a crate in one arm. He's got like this weird little claw or whatever that he's using to lift up Etna's hair off the ground so that way she doesn't drag it. and he's able to casually hold it down at his hip so that way it never touches the ground.
Squad gestures to a cigarette. Could I have one of those, please?
Really?
It's been a look. Kassar's information network is very what's it? Extensive.
She immediately pulls out her pack and pounds it down a couple times, and she goes, "You sure this is a pretty strong one?"
I have no idea what I'm doing. All I know is that I would like to try something different to deal with my shit.
All right, cool. So I don't know how it works with beaks, but we're gonna give this a shot. And she pulls out a cigarette, and then she lights it. She hands it to you before she lights it. breathe, like just suck on it, breathe just enough, hold it in, swallow, breathe out. That's all you gotta do.
All right.
Serena
Squab
is
doesn't
watching
actually
this
inhale. He
intently.
just holds the smoke in his mouth.
Oh.
You see the smoke slowly exit out of your nostrils.
That's fine. Squarb's enjoying this.
Like, okay.
Dynamic.
Yeah, just let that settle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dick, go ahead and exhale at any time. I don't really know how this works with
Squarb just opens his mouth and the smoke falls out.
just like a waterfall of smoke.
Yeah, something like that.
Just ah. Yeah.
This is fascinating.
Ah. Roll me a Constitution saving throw real fast. DC 3.
Yeah. I mean, I literally can't fail it.
Unless you roll a
So
one.
let's roll in that one.
I literally did not fail. I've got a total of 10.
Cool. It's definitely a new experience for Scorp.
Ooh, you almost failed.
By how
Roll a
much?
2.
Yeah, I
Oh.
did.
Okay. So it's definitely a new experience for Score, but it's at equal parts burning your insides, yet it relaxes your body.
And makes you lightheaded a bit.
Slightly. You also note that there is a hint of fruit. That's like that's like touching your tongue as the smoke kind of just waterfalls off of you. Like there's like this nice like fruity aftertaste.
Interesting. Thank you. Anywho, where were we?
Oh yeah, we were Titan. Yes. And he sets down the box in front of you, and then he opens it up, and as you all look inside, you see that there is a myriad of items that were crafted based on the Jabberwocky materials that you had brought. For Scorb, you asked for a trophy necklace of some kind using a talon. What they ended up doing is that they ended up slowly carving down the talon so that way it's not the size of a human. But
Yeah.
you know, it's subtle enough, and it's simple. So you can add that, and then it is a Jabberwocky talon necklace that you just have. There's nothing magical about it, but it's a nice trinket.
That's fine. That's all he wanted.
Exactly. For Violet, you had a Jabberwocky eye, and they present you with a circlet that has what you realize is a dehydrated Jabberwocky eye, and then socketed into a circlet.
Ah.
And they go, so we were able to reduce the eye to that size, which thankfully most eyes are just water. So we dehydrated it, and then we folded it over enough times, and then we found out how it did the blasting that you mentioned, and we were able to replicate that. So we thought it would be wisest to put it in a circlet. So here you are.
Awesome.
I know she's not here, but we do have something for Visper. So if one of you would be able to give this to her, and he presents like a rucksack, or like a messenger bag that looks like the flap that closes the bag is the wing of the Jabberwocky. And the steel quill hedgehog quills that were used are used as little what's it called, latches to clip the bag shut.
Hmm.
So,
That's
so
great.
you have that. There's a special function that I think she'll like when we get around to it, but I'll leave that for her to find out.
Okay.
And then we whatever happened to Miss Amaranth?
Ah.
Ah.
Mm.
Ah, I see. This is a difficult subject.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's no longer with us.
I see. Uh, Regrettable though that is, we did manage to make something, though we weren't sure if she would accept it, so
What
if you
was it?
would want this, and he pulls out this shield. It's no bigger than like a targe or a buckler,
Hmm.
made out of Jabberwock scales that have these steel quill hedgehogs quills as the handles in the
Hmm.
back, and then it is lined with the teeth of the Jabberwocky that have been that form a sort of like spiked targe to it.
Hmm.
Really cool.
It
Millennia would
really
not have
is.
used it, but that's really cool.
Listen,
Well,
listen. The note says convert it into something useful, and I'm like, well,
That's
I
much.
mean,
Yeah.
in lack of millennia, Serena, you were looking for a shield.
Yeah. No, I could definitely use that.
certainly, I believe Miss Amaranth would approve of you carrying this, sister.
Thank you.
Yes. Uh, and I will write the items for those in question. Also, I'm sorry, Scorb. I meant to say that trinket of yours actually is magical. I accidentally deleted the item on my screen.
That's
So,
okay.
but yeah, so that is a magical item. All of them are magical items, but not all of
Cool.
them. But not all of them require attunement. So, uh, to that end,
Will the shield require attunement?
no.
Okay, cool.
The shield, the only one that requires attunement is Violet's.
Gotcha.
But that's because of the power social. Anyways,
Yeah.
so, uh, he seals the crate and then he walks back and puts it away, and then that brings up to Kassar and so then, friends, what can Kassar provide for you today?
Well, that was kind of one of the things we wanted to check up on. Hmm.
Well, you're probably someone who might know about this more than most people that I would think of, aside from going to the floating temple. Uh, do you know anything about being specifically Selene's chosen?
Uh, uh, uh Kassar looks over to Edna and she just takes a long drag.
Figured I'd ask.
So you're one of the chosen,
Yes, I am, apparently.
and the old vulture chose you, huh?
Yep.
She sticks her cigarette into her mouth before she steps up. You see immediately, um, as soon as he comes back, you see Titan immediately grabs the claw and lifts up her hair one more time. Uh, and she walks over to you, and then she has to use the footstool, and then she goes, "Come here, let me get a good look at you."
Okay.
Smoke kind of like gets into your eyes a little bit, but she's like, "Sorry."
Serena doesn't react at all because her eyes are kind of stone. It's fine.
Like, it's just bad.
It's fine.
Bad habits. I'm trying to break them, but you know what they say. Let me get a good look at you. She grabs you by the jawline, and she just kind of examines you, and then you can see that her eyes have changed color, like this, like like
Yes.
contact lenses have glazed over her eyes, and they have like this deep emerald glow to them as she begins to examine you. And she goes, yeah, it's definitely a touch of divinity on you. And, well, do you feel any different? I mean, besides the obvious?
I mean, I can't tell. I haven't really done that, like, much focusing on it.
Alright. Well, did you get any, I don't know, like new powers or like any sort of divine revelations or anything when you came to?
I mean,
She's like a mother,
I-
just like turning your head every which way while you're talking.
the amber cracks are different than what I used to have, and my core is now an opal.
Oh, all right. Well, and then she goes, and then she looks all, then she like looks back to Kassar and Titan, and then she just like waves, and then they both look to the side, and she looks to you, Scorb, and she goes, "Turn that way,"
All right.
and then she just like opens your tunic just to see what the core looks like.
Yep.
I'm like, wow, would you look at that? She like gives it a couple taps. Solid amber, locking in an opal. Ah, who knew? All right, let's button you back up. All right, boys, you can turn back around. Show's over. All right, well, I don't know what to tell you. Usually they kind of do like a whole, you know, this is the quest before you, and you
No,
are
he
my
was pretty
choice.
much just, hey, I'll be here when you die. You're my chosen. See ya.
Was that his exact words?
More or less.
Hmm.
He said he'll be waiting for me with open arms to embrace me at at my journey's end.
Ah, see, that's the rub right there. All right, I see what's going on. She picks up her cigarette and then she returns back to her seat next to Kassar. Seems that whatever you're dealing with has to align with what he's got going on.
I see.
So, he made you his chosen to act on his behalf to fix whatever's going on right now that he can't do himself. It's normally how that works.
Okay. So, pretty much stop the end of the world so he doesn't influx with a bunch of souls that he has to deal with.
That's one way to interpret it. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, you know, I figured that'd be bad for business,
Yeah.
but I don't know how these gods work. I'm not really a religious type.
Okay. Looks like journey to floating temple is in order in the future.
Yeah, that might help. You also might
Yeah.
want to go to the temple to the sun to the south.
Oh.
Yeah, we have two temples here. It's best that you observe both of them.
sort of a pilgrimage in my life. All right.
I'm sure you'll be fine. If nothing else, we can get you as close as possible. And, given the current rotation of the cities, we might actually be able to stop over to one of the others sooner than you think.
Wonderful.
Yeah, just give it a couple months. I'm sure we'll be there.
Okay.
In that time, however, what else can we help you with?
Could we get maybe like an escape rope kind of thing, like emergency get right back here kind of thing? Because we're gonna go somewhere that seems to be a bit far out.
Uh, uh, are any of you capable of casting the teleportation magics?
I mean, Visper's done plenty of circles. I've helped.
Right, but I mean, are you capable of casting it yourselves? Is what Kassar is asking.
Ooh, no.
Uh, uh,
Yeah, I think no is the answer
I
to that.
have to go through my entire spell list to see, and I don't think so.
I don't think a
Pretty
cleric at your
sure
level can do
clerics
it.
don't, at least not at level 8.
No.
I gotta step away for a second. I just got her Stardew Valley working again.
No
Nice.
Let's
problem.
go.
Oh, what is that? Oh my god. All right, I have to go through my spell list again because I didn't even know that was a spell. That's cool.
There you go. The funny thing is,
Hmm.
I actually think Visper is capable of casting this.
Nice.
I genuinely think she might be.
Teleportation circle?
Yeah, isn't she able to cast 5th level spells now?
Yes.
That'll do it.
Yeah, sorcerers can learn it.
Yeah, she can do it. That's funny as fuck.
That. Oh my god.
Your fate is now directly tied to whether or not Visper can successfully cast a teleportation circle with wild magic.
I mean, like, do you have like a one-time scroll we could use even? Like,
We stopped doing that after a bad business transaction.
okay.
But we can provide you the arcane coordinates to this office if you wish.
Sure. I'll write them down and we'll see what Visper can do.
Wonderful. No, she already done, and she just rips a page out of her notebook and hands it off to Titan. Titan then walks over, still clutching the claw, and then just hands it off to one of you.
Great. Okay.
As soon as she is able to properly cast the spell, then you can use those coordinates to travel right back here.
That will be useful.
Indeed. Now then, was there any information that we can provide for you? Or any sort of other questions that you wish for us to glean?
I'm waiting on on an informant who's been I hired a while back. If she gave me like a token that's like one of those restaurant buzzers. Uh, if this goes off, can you just like tell me while we're out?
What is this for?
personal matters.
And you just want us to call you when this goes off.
If it goes off, it's been quite a while actually. I wonder if she like
I'm back.
ghosted me or something. But I don't think I paid her a whole lot down. Whatever. Yeah, if it goes off, tell me. Because I, it feels like I don't need this on my person right now.
Fair enough. Kassar just sets it right on top of his desk, just in front of him.
Yeah,
Mm.
Should this pop off, then Kassar will be able to inform you.
great, thank you.
Alrighty then. Well, if there is no further business, then you are more than welcome to stay for tea and snacks. But Kassar has much business to attend to after this
Actually,
ordeal.
before we go, Kassar, we've given you much information. I was hoping you might be able to give us some in exchange.
Yes, of course. What do you require?
I'm sure that you've noticed that the Skara Audin has become significantly more militarized since the attack against the 6th outpost. I've received some kind of inkling that in response to that, or not inkling, I've received some information that in response to that attack, uh, I mean, not only are we becoming more militarized, but there's also some kind of actual military operation happening at the Dragonspine Mountains. We're set to meet with the Merchant Prince in regards to that. However, you may know things that she's unwilling to tell us. Do you happen to know anything about that particular operation?
Mm. Yes, we have heard rumors of such operations. Though Kassar is not privy to why they are there, rumors have spoken of a, one of two potential targets. It could
Hmm.
be that they are assaulting a cult stronghold uh, that is located somewhere within the Dragonspine Mountains.
But I
There is
find that
also,
curious.
but there are also rumors of the monastery of the Desert Wind there as well. Those who kidnapped young ones.
Right. I was going to say, I find it curious if the cities are mobilizing to assault a cult stronghold, given that, you know, that's not who perpetrated the attack. At least as far as we know. It was perpetrated by a small, organized force of air genasi attempting to release their captured brethren.
Hmm.
And we were heading out to investigate the Dragonspine Mountains when we recovered her. He gestures towards Serina. So I find it very odd that any kind of military operation is happening out in that direction even a little bit. Why? You don't currently know. I mean, you just told me that. But still, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. Am I alone in thinking that?
Kassar will look into this. But know that business of the Skara Audin is the Skara Audin's, and Kassar does not like stepping on toes he does not wish to step upon.
I understand. I mean, I am still, at the very least, for the time being, a captain of the 6th Company. If you have to, you are more than welcome to use my name in order to keep yourself out of trouble.
Kassar will keep this in mind, friend.
And I do an insight check to see who's going to abuse that.
That's not carte
Absolutely.
blanche. That is not carte blanche, my friend. Specifically for this investigation, please.
Aw, it's only a 13.
No, he for as
He's scummy, but he's not that
yeah,
scummy.
for as oddly scummy as he presents himself to be, your Serena specifically, your dealings with Kassar have been nothing but mutually beneficial with no detriment.
Right.
So you could
Yeah.
infer based on how he said that he will use that as necessary. He means that. Like it is. This is solely a business maneuver. This is a new tool in his repertoire.
Yeah. When Squarb says that's not carte blanche, use it only for this investigation, he winks, trying to make it clear that he's teasing Kassar a little bit.
Mhm. Kassar just gives a knowing nod, by your meanings. But yes, we will send somebody to investigate further.
I do intend to continue investigating on my end of things, but there's nothing's adding up. I mean, if we lay out events as we understand them, then the military operations at the Dragonspine Mountain just absolutely don't make sense. Unless there's some kind, because this wouldn't be appropriate retaliation against the people who perpetrated the attack. Unless those people who perpetrated the attack are somehow tied in with the Desert Winds or Golion. And I don't. Hang on. I'm trying to remember something out of game because Squarb would know this. Those Air Genasi, they weren't associated with either, as far as we know. Correct?
No, the Air Genasi that you so the children were Air Genasi. The people who kidnapped the children were not Air Genasis.
Right. But I was trying to because there was one specific person that we had been tracking down that we had.
Azir, yes.
Yeah, but we encountered some big high Air Genasi woman.
Yes.
And she was the one who had claimed Okay, no, never mind. It was the Order of the Desert Wind who had claimed responsibility for the attack on the sixth house or the sixth company. I apologize. I got some of my details mixed up.
No, you're good, man. I was gonna let that roll.
No, thank you. I needed to double check my notes again because I was trying to remember like everything all at once. I'm trying to lay out all of the details I have on me so that we can actually get this rectified or not rectified. You get what I mean. Make it make sense.
Yeah, I gave you guys a lot of threads. So,
Yeah.
And you guys have been pulled every which way except from like 3 of the original threads I set up. So it's
But
completely understandable.
even if it were a Desert Winds outpost, why would they be there? Why would they be there when we know that the cult is operating there unless the two of them are somehow entwined? I don't know. This doesn't make sense anyway.
It may be complete happenstance that the cult is using the mountains as well as the desert wind.
There's no such thing as coincidence, Kassar. You and I know that as well as anybody.
On the contrary, there are many coincidences.
No, rain on your wedding day is a coincidence. Two very dangerous groups of people operating out of the same space, that's not. There's no way it could be.
Are you sure the Dragonspine Mountains covers the entire eastern border? Or the western border?
Do I happen to recall any detail on where specifically that military operation is happening?
Yes, there's a map for it in the Discord. It's pinned.
Okay. And do I also happen to remember approximately where we were searching in the mountains for the missing kids in the first place? Or where the missing kids were going to go? I'm sorry.
Yes, are you referring to the Air Genasi kids, or are you referring to the kids that were being settled up as slaves?
The kids that were being settled up as slaves.
Those would be to the Northwest Trade Tunnel. If you look on the map, I set up a Skada Aldin staging site. That's the location that that one of the commanders of the Skada Aldin had labeled for you guys to go to should you decide you want to aid them in their military operation.
Right. Okay, sorry, I'm just still trying to get those details worked out in my head.
Mhm.
So those are they decently far from each other?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. In that case, Squarb's not actually this stupid. This is just the player forgetting, not having a full understanding of the details.
That's totally fair.
So I'd like to walk back some of what Squarb just said.
No, you're totally fine. A lot of this, there's a lot of information that you guys have to
Oh, yeah.
that you have to relearn, and so I don't
Especially
blame
because
you.
it's been a long time since we've touched this plot line.
Yeah, so like it's gonna take some time. So I don't mind if you guys fumble. I'm like, don't worry, I got your back. We have all the details.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. This is a collaborative storytelling game. I'm here to help.
It is. I'm just my memory is also a bit wonky lately, so
Yeah, you're fine, dude. But yeah, so you would know that the Northwest Trade Tunnel is about a month's journey on foot from the Skara Aldin staging site.
yeah. In that case, yeah, no, that then Squarb wouldn't have even thought that this is, not or possibly not coincidence.
Mm-hmm. I will give you, however, because you are trying to put dots together, that the Scarab City that's closest to the Northwest Trade Tunnel, that current one until they rotate, had no was one of the few cities that didn't have any activities associated with either the cults of Golion or the Desert of the Temple, Temple of the Desert Wind.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so that it is purely coincidental that the cities align the way they do.
All right. Well, I appreciate you helping me clarify that.
Yeah.
I've got no other questions at this moment.
Okay, cool. But did you still want Kassar to investigate the military operation relating to the Skara Aldin regardless?
I think so. Mostly because I'm not sure that I understand the why. Squarb's not sure that he understands the why either. This feels like a huge retaliation to something that was done by a few people.
Right. All right. Fair enough. In that case, like Kassar said, he will do his best to send his agents and himself personally investigate the goings on of the Skara Aldin, just to get an outsider's perspective, as it were.
Yeah, that's really what Squarb is wanting here. Is that so?
Certainly, and then obviously he will keep in touch with you, or if not, he will send in information through an intermediary to provide you with any new intel. And he's hoping that by the end of the month that he'll have something for you.
Thank you. I'm going to be doing some further research on my own, just investigating general corruption in the Skara Aldin, because I've received some implication from some inside sources that things above my captain and my pay grade are messy.
Oof.
For lack of better phrasing.
Oof. Yes.
Very few members of my company are pleased with what's going on and the orders that they're being handed down.
Kassar understands, and we will continue to investigate on that front as well while you are off doing whatever it is the honorable merchant prince has you doing.
Right. Thank you.
Of course. Well then, please, before you go, take some snacks with you and finish your tea, please. Kassar insists.
Thanks, Uncle.
Yeah, the better part of like 30 minutes afterwards, after your business talk, you guys kind of break down into chill family time.
Just shooting the shit.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Finishing that awful cigarette Etna gave me.
Yeah.
Can I do a history check to see if the cult ever had dealings with the Order of the Desert Winds?
Ooh, yeah, go ahead. Roll history.
12, which
given that Squarb's sorry, I was gonna ask, given that Squarb's been investigating something along these lines himself, can he assist in this?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll one more
so
time
you
to
both
see
are
if I
just
get better.
basically compiling data together.
Yeah.
18 is better than 12.
When you were blade possessed,
Yes.
Dealings is a loose term. You had confrontations is the better word.
Okay.
The cult of Golion had children who possessed what the Order of the Desert Wind referred to as the gift, and
Okay.
that is what they are. That is who they seek. You just happen to be in the line of fire. You in doing so, you had lost an entire caravan's worth of people who possessed the quote unquote gift before they flooded away. You survived, obviously, but the
Yeah.
cultists that tried to defend them did not, all save for 2 other members.
Jeez. Did we have any inkling of what the gift was?
Based on everything that you would know prior to your possession and now post possession, the gift is something that is related to the ability to manipulate the wind in a otherwise supernatural nature, or they are blessed by the desert itself. Is the way that the Order of the Desert Wind proclaims it. So you do not know
Alright.
if it's more of a, you don't know if it's like a spiritual thing, if it's a magical thing, or whatever. But they only target those that they deem who are blessed by the wind or have the gift.
Okay.
Interesting.
Which also explains their erratic behavior. Why sometimes you'll this is something that Squorb would know. You will sometimes receive reports of such random attacks of members of the Order of the Desert Wind just coming in and just ransacking a place only to leave everybody alive except for those who's tried to stop them. And then they would leave with maybe somewhere of 2 to 5 children with them.
At least they're not working together, I guess.
No, that's actually a very good thing for us to know. It
Yeah.
means that we may be able to. I hate this. I hate thinking this. We may be able to to get one of them to fight the others.
That left a bad taste in your beak, huh?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to work with the Desert Winds. I really don't. But the Cult of Golion presents a fantastic threat at this time, and it's something that I'd really like to get taken care of as soon as possible. No, I can't rectify that in my head at all. I'm not going to. I can't. I can't.
I mean, knowing the journey so far, we probably have 4 different nearly end of the world disasters before we were able to actually get to them. So
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I just. I'm sorry. I can't even justify weaponizing the desert sands. My brain is just the fact that I even thought of that is bothering me.
It's like everyone has thoughts like that. It's fine.
I know. Still, Squarb clacks his beak a couple of times in irritation. It's just not who I want to be.
And then there's Visper, who lets the intrusive thoughts, i.e., the DM, win.
fireball your friends.
Why don't you
Fireball
walk up to
hug.
them, hug them, and then cast Fireball? So
All right.
fun.
I think I want to help Violet with your problem first. And then I'd like to start getting ready to go help my wingmates.
Or let's go use that company credit card really quick to get me a weapon.
Yeah, let's see what we can. Let's see what I can expense for you.
Yes. And then we'll go help Violet.
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot to give this to you because I wasn't expecting this. So
You say that every week.
I do, but because I'm usually on a time crunch. When you can only DM
to that
for
end, by the
2.5
way,
hours.
I got to bounce in about 15. Sorry.
No, that's totally fine. It's related to Serena specifically.
Okay.
But so I'm going to. I guess I'm gonna hold. Well, let's get this week out of the way first, and then
Okay.
we can talk about the Serena thing. So, you guys have basically set up multiple avenues of gaining information. What are you guys doing for the remainder of this week? Because this all happened in the span of like a day.
Yeah.
I guess Squarb's gonna be doing what he can during the course of the week to familiarize. I mean, like after shopping, he's gonna familiarize himself with what's actually happening out
Okay.
at the Dragonspine Mountains.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming, as captain, he does have access to at least some tactical information.
Yeah, because you were given the clearance to participate um in the military op, you do have the ability to look at a dossier and like get like a sit rep on the situation. Yeah.
Yeah. Specifically, he's looking for what the objective of the operation is, how they intend to achieve that objective, etc.
Got it. Um okay, so then for that, we'll have you what's a good role for this?
I mean, if I'm just reading a dossier, that's most of what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, if that's all you're gonna do, and then are you going to do anything else besides reading the dossier?
I mean, he can't really think of much else to do other than just no, that's most of it.
Okay.
Maybe generate some personal income, but he doesn't need a whole lot as far as that's concerned. So
Fair. But if you want to do that, go ahead and roll me a D1. Roll me a D100 for personal.
Okay. He's gonna do some odd jobs, I guess.
Yeah.
48.
48. Okay, cool. And then go ahead and roll me your fighter.
Yeah.
Cool. I believe you get a D10 for equipment. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Here, I'll pull it up.
Hang on. I am specifically a cavalier too.
Yes. Let's see here. Equipment page based on class. Fighter is it's 5d4. That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, go ahead and roll 5d4.
Okay, and that's gonna be for just doing odd jobs.
Yeah, that's just doing odd jobs for the week.
Okay.
I'm basically just letting you roll the starting wealth of your class.
That's fine. That is 14.
140.
Okay.
And then with the D100, the 48 was just to determine like how efficient you were at the job, which you've got a lot on your plate, so you were mostly doing like paperwork, things of that nature, just catching up on paperwork and stuff.
Yep.
Just clocking in those hours. All right. Violet, what about you? What are you doing for the rest of this week?
Violet's sort of a mixture between just like waiting in dead end labor, reading over the notebook a million times, and there was another thing that I wanted. Oh, the necromantic circle meeting.
Oh yeah, you had that meeting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Violet doesn't really pay attention when she goes, and
Yeah,
but
so you go to the necromantic circle meeting, and you're the first person there, and you're not sure if this is the right place. You're like, this is the spot. And then that's when you hear the door open, and you see Redding. He shows up, and he goes, "Hey,
hello.
the guys and gals should be showing up shortly. You want me to get you like a drink or like something to snack on or?"
No point, really. So
Right. Sorry. So I'm gonna go stand at the podium and start prepping for that. And he kind of
yeah,
like
I'm
goes
gonna scroll fantasy Twitter for a minute. So.
you start reading on your crystal.
Yeah.
Fantasy TikTok.
Check out how fast this tabaxi can run. Damn.
Goes
new
from
team-
0 to 60 in like 2
Yeah,
minutes
damn.
or 2
new-
seconds.
No, they are the Tabaxi. You can really min max
You
speed
can-
on Tabaxi.
Yeah, you can hit like 220 speed on a Tabaxi on a like a barely optimized build.
Damn.
But anyways, yeah, but like yeah, a few minutes pass and then the rest of the order arrives. There is 15 members in total, including you, that comprise the necromantic circle of Blasphatan. All of them range from different ages, different races, and uh, and then the and then Redding is technically the speaker of the circle, where he serves as an intermediary between all of the members of the circle to kind of keep everybody in order. I guess is the best way to put it. That's his primary job. And he goes, "All right, with everybody here, I call this meeting to order. So, first things first. Anybody have any new updates on their research projects or any like mishaps or things of that nature?" None. All right, cool. So we're just gonna mark that down as a clean slate for the week. Awesome. And oh, right, forgot to mention. You probably all received the notice. Necromancer Violet, please rise.
Hi.
Guys, this is our new team member, Violet. Everybody say hi. Everybody just kind of just like unanimously, like an AA meeting. Hi, Violet. All right, so you'll get to meet everybody along the way. I'm sure you've met some of them, and then you see
Yeah.
across the table, Fareem is like twiddling his fingers, and he's like mumbling to himself before he looks up, and then he just waves at you, and then goes back to mumbling. So yeah, introductions out of the way. Alrighty. So, next on the list of things that we have to talk about, we've got reports that zombies have been clogging the sewage system, and that's basically your conversation. It's just doing mundane necromantic like shenanigans.
Necromancer's Circle is really like
You guys are more like
boring.
you guys are more like a city planning circle for the most
Yeah.
part, like city infrastructure, and then like after all the business stuff ends, everybody just kind of like looks around, and then one of the younger members, she approaches you and she goes, "Hi."
Hello. Violet.
Yes, I am Gina. What kind of necromancy do you do, Violet?
Um, bugs and poison.
Oh. I can do this, and then like she like slams her hand on the desk, and then she like starts to reconstruct an entire skeleton of a cat.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done. I do a little bit of reanimating, but this is not my main thing.
Do you kill your own bodies, or do you just have like a guy that like brings them to you?
Ah,
You could say both because of Serena.
I used to have a person, and well, actually, I just got them back.
Did you bring them back
So
yourself?
no, no, it was actually pretty out of my hands that they're back. Uh, yeah,
Did you use poison?
I did not.
She writes that down.
I do collect my own bodies from time to time, I guess.
Do you find
Mostly
that
out
do you find
on
that more or less
adventures.
efficient than like through a morgue?
It means I can't run the shop and do that at the same time.
She begins writing this down.
And it's a
These are all
bit
very good
less
points.
consistent. It's a bit more like in batches rather than a couple over a long time. So
Okay. Okay. These are all very good notes.
yeah.
I'm going to open my own undead pet shop.
Oh yeah.
Great.
Perfect. I would love an undead lizard.
Now wait a minute. Now wait a
I'm not
minute.
there, so ignore me.
I'm thinking of expanding it once the business gets big. I'm expanding it to an undead stable.
Where are you sourcing your animals?
I asked the Scar Aldine to come back with their hunts.
Okay. Generally, those aren't going to be very domestic animals, right?
I mean, I don't know how to get desert coyotes.
I mean, the problem isn't getting the desert coyotes. It's the fact that the desert coyotes are pets. I feel like generally people are.
No, not them. Their bones.
Yeah. Are you making them into undead desert coyotes?
Yes.
Now, I'm not sure there's going to be a huge market for that, to be honest.
Everybody
If
As
there
like
is an
pets.
undead vulture, Serena's buying it.
Everybody likes dogs.
Now, there's a difference. Good luck.
Yes. You too. Would you like this cat?
Yes, I like cats.
I don't know if I have the ability to take care of a pet right now.
That's very wise of you, Miss Violet.
Thank you.
She then causes the cat skeleton to deconstruct, and then she scoops all the bones back into a bag.
Hmm.
Have a wonderful day.
Somehow
too.
Violet is the most normal out of all these people.
I mean, I don't actually practice the whole resurrecting stuff that much. Bugs.
You have Mr. Bones.
I have Mr. Bones, but it's like
Mr.
one guy.
Mr. Bones is still dancing in front of the stores. You're
Oh yeah, he's still our sign spinner, huh?
yeah. Your business has actually grown by 3 people since that started happening. So yeah, just pointing that out. You were probably the most normal person besides Redding in the necromantic circle of Blasphetown.
Hmm.
There are 13 other people you need to meet.
I'm sure we'll get around to it.
You'll get around to it.
eventually.
You'll get around to it.
All right, I gotta bounce. I've got some stuff I gotta go take care of.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and then
I will see you all next week.
perfect. And then Serena, what are you doing for the rest of this week?
Part of it is going to one of those effigies for Selene and just, I don't have. It's gonna be a while before I get to those temples, so let's try this. And then,
One of the little shrines that are out here.
yeah, is going to try to commune.
Cool. Go ahead and roll a religion.
Yup. 17.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
A lot better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, absolutely. You get the image of one of your ancestors that appears where the shrine is, and you recognize this ancestor by the stories that were presented from of them. They were a great warrior who once held back a great force from annihilating the tribe once in the past. Though they lost their life in that battle, they are recognized as a stone speaker, which
Okay.
for your tribe, a stone speaker is someone who can call upon the earth to move at their whims.
Sick.
So this is stone speaker Granok, and he stands before you, but as a soul flame.
Okay. First of all, very cool to meet you.
Just gives
Heard
you
a lot of good things.
he gives you a knowing nod.
Um, I am trying to learn more about this being Solan's chosen thing. Like, if that gives me. I mean, I know I'm acting upon Solan's will. That one's given. I need to know if this, like, gives me access to anything that I can use, or what I need to do to gain the ability to more effectively go about his will. There we go.
Stone speaker Granok doesn't speak to you because that's overstepping the bounds of what the path of the ancestral guardian can do right now.
Yeah.
What they do, however, is that they put their hand to their chest and they tap it a few times. And you infer this as use your core. And they they sort of meld into your being for a brief instance where your soul and Granok's are intertwined for but a brief moment. And though you are still technically in the driver's seat, Granok is in control of your body for a brief instance.
Yeah, there is a very strong trepidation that's happening.
Yes, and Granok, I guess you could say their presence is very warm
Okay.
in the sense that this is not a confrontational thing. It's a I'm going to teach you something that you already possess.
Okay.
And Granok is going to forcibly compel your body to enter a rage.
Okay.
And when you rage, you see that the amber crystals that line your arms and your legs, just all the scars that have the amber crystals in them, glow faintly, and you see Granok mutter something in an ancient tongue before the amber crystals begin to form a weapon in your hands.
Whoa. Okay.
And so suddenly you are wielding a warhammer in your hands made out of amber crystals. They then show you that while you are in this state, while you are calling upon the ancestors, you can call upon effectively imitations of your ancestral weapons.
Oh, sick. Okay.
And so from a warhammer, he then swings the hammer, and then it shifts and becomes a glaive. He then raises it up and holds it aloft, and then it becomes a great sword. Then he slams it into the ground, shattering it and ending your rage.
Huh. Okay.
So, mechanically, this is something that I wanted to give you as part of your resurrection, but I couldn't give it to you until after you had finished your 1 week of exhaustion and you're no longer
Yeah.
dead. So somewhere in your character sheet, you're gonna have to. I'll give you the thing that you can just copy and paste.
Okay.
But as part of your rage, you gain the ability to forge weapons made out of amber crystals. These weapons last up to a minute or shatter after exceeding a number of successful attacks equal to your proficiency bonus. These are not permanent weapons.
Okay.
You
All right.
also add your constitution modifier to the damage of these crystal weapons on top of your strength modifier. In addition, while you have a crystal weapon formed, you can change the shape of the crystals to alter the damage type between bludgeoning, piercing, or slashing. And these weapons are considered magical for the purposes of overcoming resistances.
That's sick. Okay, once it shatters, can I not use that again until I rage again?
Correct.
Okay, I see. So it's
So-
once a rage.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And I'll send this to you through the DMs so that way you have
Okay.
this as well.
That's really fucking cool.
Yeah. I originally so when I originally designed this, I thought about doing a monk thing. But the more I started building this, the more I realized this doesn't fit with the way of the ancestral guardians, so I came up with this instead.
I like this a lot.
Now, this doesn't mean that you can't go out and still fucking overcharge the Scotta Aldine for whatever gear you want, but I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like,
No, I know.
yeah,
This is a like if I need to get up close and personal, I have a better thing.
you will all technically this is a you will always have a weapon
Yeah.
so long as you are raging.
Yep.
So yeah, you have that, and I think for the third week after you guys have done all that, I think that's a good spot because I want to wait till everybody's here for the meeting with the merchant prince, so I don't want to go too
Yeah.
far into our downtime activities. But we'll call it here tonight, and then next week we will start right up with meeting up with the merchant prince of Blasvitan, Abika, once more to figure out what's going on. So until then, guys, thank you so much for sticking around here. For those of you who are staying here, if you like what we're doing, please go ahead and leave a subscribe. Hit subscribe on the Twitter page, or Twitter page. Wow, Twitch. That's the word I'm looking for. They all have T's, okay? YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Come on. So yeah, so hit subscribe and keep us up to date. We try to stream every Sunday, but you know, circumstances as they are, sometimes we just have mental days. We want to keep those in check. Also follow on YouTube where you can catch all the previous episodes of Sand and Shadow there on my YouTube page, and maybe some VODs that I posted there as well if you like what I'm doing here. If you guys want to keep up to see what I'm doing in the meantime, you can follow me on Twitter. There's a link down below as well where you can follow me and keep up to date on that. I rarely post, but hey, when I do, it's usually weird. So if you like that, there's that. And so until then, guys, thank you so much for joining us again, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Bye for now.
Bye.